Hey everyone, my name's Jax, and we're back for part 3 of our Stellaris Beginner's Guide on how to play Stellaris. So let's go ahead and unpause the game and see where we're at with everything. Let's go ahead and check out our ships. Looks like we have our science ships going ahead and continue to expand outward. We want them to figure out what's all over here. We want them to figure out everything that's what's in the system, you know, if there's any allies or enemies. Well, we don't have any allies, but we also don't have any enemies. But, you know, they might be hostile and they might attack us. Just depends. Some civilizations are hostile right off the bat. Others that you kind of have to, you know, work your way into making them an ally. They start off neutral, that sort of thing. We're just going to exit out of this because I don't want to spend the unity for it. I need the unity for my tradition, so I'm not gonna support one person over another right now. Maybe later, but as of right now, we're not gonna do that. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with this first contact. Difficulty 7, and we have a 0, so that's always fun. So let's go ahead and exit out of that as they progress it. And let's also take a look at what our planets are doing. So something I noticed is that the game seems to be adding crime. It used to be that no crime was added, but now it seems that crime kind of just naturally happens. And so if it gets to a certain point, you're going to have to add in a, you know, we're not going to replace it right now, but eventually you would have to add in a precinct house, which is what helps with fighting off crime. And if you get the unfortunate part of, you know, crime overtaking your planet, then you really need to add in these precinct houses. You want to avoid crime as much as you can, but, you know, 1% isn't going to kill us. But with that being said, let's go ahead and build another city district because we want to get another building slot up and running. And you can see how you can actually unlock a building slot. It even says right here, slots can be unlocked by building city districts or upgrading your reassembled ship shelter, which is this thing right here. If you upgrade this to planetary administration, then that also unlocks a building slot. There's also technologies that do it as well. But in this case, we're just going to stick with the city districts because that's the easiest way for us right now. There will be technologies that will eventually come, but we're not that far ahead. Let's check out the other planets. Looks like this is the one with the minerals, so we do want to focus a bit on the minerals here, but we also want to get some city districts up and running. And then let's check our empire capital, which is where the majority of our population is. So a lot of production is happening here. You could see the planet production. We're producing a lot. There's a lot going on. You know, if you compare it to this one, which not too much, you know, we're producing some unity, some alloys, and it looks like some research deposits. So we're producing that, and we also have a deficit. But, you know, you don't really have to worry too much about planet deficits because everything is totaled out in the end. So everything has you can see a monthly gain. I would call it a balance or a difference, you know. But so far, everything's positive. We're getting a bit low on the consumer goods, so something to consider is let's build that. Oh, we're paused again. I don't know how that happened. But we want to build a city district because we're probably going to build I forget what it's called. Is it a consumer good? Civilian industries. We want to build civilian industries because you can see here the approximate job production is 14.83. But the upkeep is 12.00 minerals, which, fair trade, okay. We do have a healthy surplus of minerals, but those minerals are also being used to help us build these districts and planets. So that will cut into a bit of our mineral production. So we really got to get this planet, or sorry, this one, up and running with its mineral or mining districts. And like we did before, we did make this a mining world, so that way it's more focused on that. So let's see. So now here, you have two options. You could go this way and get this pretty good one, you know, because there's a lot of stats going on, or not stats, but like items we can grab. We can get this 2 energy credits or these 6 minerals, and plus a little bit of trade if we built up a starbase, or we could just get 4 energy. But here's the catch: this puts us quicker to this, and my goal is to actually get this. As much as I want to race to this one, which, yeah, I don't think there's anyone there. I actually don't want to, I want to prioritize this first, just because there is a dig site here. So I'm prioritizing the dig site because I'm assuming that this person already has this place surveyed, and they might already have a construction ship on the way. So I'm actually going to prioritize this first. So let's go ahead and click this, just get it out of the way so we can continue. And let's see what we have. So we have 2 good options. We have colony development. We also have research station output. So I'm going to go ahead and do the research station output because, well, more research is obviously better. Can't go wrong with that. And it looks like we already got another first contact. We have fascinating creatures, or we can learn to coexist. So this is only possible because we have, we have xenophile. You can even hover over it too. It says this option is only available because we're xenophiles. So we're going to go ahead and I would say click this one just because it's more role playing. And all it is it's just, you know, it's these, I guess they're NPCs, but they're just these spacefaring creatures that you'll encounter. If you leave them alone, they're harmless. Like these things, you know, I wouldn't bother them. But most neutral creatures, even though they show red, even though they show hostile, as long as you don't like go in their territory and start messing with them, you're going to be fine. So a little bit more influence gained. Ends first contact procedure with mineral extraction operation. That's fine. So unfortunately here, this is a savanna planet, which we're not really compatible with because you can see it says 25% human and it's in red. And we also know we're not really compatible with this planet because, well, it's red. It's very, well, even if I zoom in, it's not that good, but surprisingly, if I zoom out, it gets bigger. But that's how you know we're not really compatible with this planet, or at least our civilization is. I shouldn't say, you know, we, but I guess our civilization. But it eventually will be we once we get more populations going, because we might not just be human. There might be other populations that we take into our society because of migratory treaties or whatever it may be. So I'm going to go ahead and click launch agenda. And let's go ahead and start a new one. Open arms. Why not? It's the only one we have left, so let's go ahead and do it. So we already claimed this. Now we're going to rush to this one because we want to control this choke point. We're ignoring all the items in here right now. And you typically want to ignore these, especially if you know that you're racing against another civilization. You want to try to gain as much ground as possible. So ideally we would like to get to here, but you know, hovering over that and I could see the 3, I have a feeling that this is already taken over. So I think this is as good as we're going to get. I think this is pretty much the limit where we're going to encounter these people, and we're going to see that there probably is a territory here, which, okay, not a big deal. We'll deal with it. Hopefully they're friendly. Hopefully, you know, ideally you want to have neutral or friendly civilizations next to you, but sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes just people are aggressive. So looks like, you know, this thing, if I had to guess, this is a construction ship. It's probably coming here to build a yep, it's coming right here because they're going to try to build their starbase. So it looks like he's trying to take over, but we stopped him, or stopped them, and luckily we were quick enough. So see, that was a perfect example. If we built these, if we built these energy credit mining stations, we wouldn't have beat this construction ship that was here. We would have lost, and then ultimately we would have not have claimed the system. But now we control a very good system in addition to the archaeological site. Another argument is that, yes, we could have been this way, but my assumption was that they were probably already heading this way, so I wanted to claim this first. But either way, it worked out for us. Let's go ahead and press on screen. So what I like to do is I typically, you can hover over each one, but I typically don't choose the bottom one because reducing someone's opinion of you usually just leads to fighting, which, I mean, if you're looking for a fight, okay, go for it. But I typically like to look at what are they saying here. I bring greetings from the revered elder, the elected leader of the Covenant. We believe in the right of all sapient beings to fulfill their individual spiritual needs, and we trust that enlightened species such as yours share the sentiment. So because it is a positive thing, I'm going to give them something positive back because I am going to assume that they're going to be amicable. They're going to be good. Now, if it was neutral, like, hey, back off, we're not going to mess with you, you're not going to mess with us, I would probably choose the middle one because then this gives them 33% less spy network on us. But I think that they're going to be good, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this 50 opinion. And that's going to help with us. See, you could, wow, so they already have a lot of territory. So as soon as we click that, you could see the whole territory. And we could see what this person thinks of us. So here, they already want to establish an embassy. This is perfect. This just makes, it just increases your relationship with each other. So they want to non-aggression pact invitation. They are overwhelming. So yeah, probably. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that because we don't want to, we're not going to attack. There's no reason for us to attack them. Probably be a smart idea to build a starbase here just in case, but we are being hailed. We'll see. I'm gonna do the mining one because I just want to get more mining. Independence guaranteed, so that's really nice of them. They're saying, hey, if we get attacked, they're automatically going to come to our defense. Heck yeah, that's really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. So now that we've claimed all these systems here, I'm going to go ahead and slowly start slowly start building all these different stations, research stations, mining stations, all that good stuff to collect all these goodies. And I'm just going to queue everything. I just, did the shift right click on all these. So now everything's going to, they're going to go through and they're going to build all these for me.
Survey concluded.
So at this point, because we only have only one construction ship, it would be in our best interest to probably build another. We probably want to build another just because we want to start expanding this way and probably even this way. But the question is which way. So I'm going to go ahead and queue another construction ship. Because I want to start, like I said, I want to start expanding out. And one construction ship isn't going to cut it because right now they're preoccupied with building all these right here. 3 science ships right now. That's decent, but it's not ideal. But right now we do have a good amount of unity, so we could probably investigate looking into building another science ship now that I think about it. So let's go ahead and do that actually. We have decent unity. We have a very healthy gain. We eventually want this to keep going up even more as we progress because the cost of unity, as you get more traditions, it just increases. So yes, this is good, but that's only good for now. You eventually want to be in the hundreds, as you get to mid and late game. So looks like it built us our science ship. So let's go ahead and, so all these people are currently, doing something on another science ship. So what that means is we need to look over here and see who would be a good science ship scout. So these are all research based. I have no use for these. So The only one here is kind of a general, like, leadership experience gain 10%. I'm going to do that one. Yes, I'll take the hit. And let's go ahead and have them scout things out for us. Perfect. That construction ship. So, you know, we can look here and see which one's looking good. I'm already seeing that we got an archaeological site here. We also have one here. So this one's probably going to be quicker to grab, and there's potentially someone over here. So I'm going to have this ship start working this way here. So let's go ahead and select our tradition. So this is really the only way we could choose, because we've already maxed out these. You can only go down here. The one that you could choose is kind of has this highlighted box. So let's go ahead and choose that. A leader pool +1 and leader experience gain plus 10%. Not bad. So it looks like our world. So now you can see we can upgrade that reassembled ship saddle or shelter. Sorry.
We have detected an anomaly.
And it's upgradable by this yellow up sign. So once you have that, and you can also see it right here too. This is now upgradable. So we're going to head and do that. And you can see all the nice things it's going to give us. You could read right here. It's going to give us +5 housing, +5 amenities, all that good stuff. All right, we're back with the next installment of the Stellaris guide. And here we are just encountered another alien civilization. Kind of blocked us off from the top. But luckily, we were able to secure a choke point right here. So that's the important part, was that we were able to rush this spot. Because in a sense now, we've blocked off this civilization from going any further. So now we could focus more on expanding down here and over here. So silver lining to the cloud, we could focus our efforts more on somewhere else. And the good part about this is that the
system survey,
I guess you can call him neighbor, is somewhat amicable. They're not a determined exterminator or anything like that. So it seems like it's going to be beneficial for us. So so the thing I just clicked, that was a migratory treater. We want those because it allows us to expand to different planets that our species usually can't accept. So this is, let me actually pause this real quick, because we're actually getting a lot. So this is a defensive pact, and it's kind of good for us because if you hover over them, they're overwhelming, and that's not good. That means if they were to fight us, they are gonna 100%. So with that being said, because these are, pretty amicable people, they're obviously sending us a lot of invitations. That means that they want to engage with us. This is going to be good because form a defensive pact with them. If either empire is attacked, the other will automatically come to their defense. This also implies that they're not going to attack you. They're not going to go after you. So this is a good thing to get, especially for someone that's overwhelming, especially in fleet power. The economic and technology is equivalent. So that means they're pretty much on the same track as we are. As you can see, their empire is pretty similar size. So with that being said, we definitely want to agree to it, but I believe it's going to take away a bit from our influence gain, as you can see over here. If we agree to it, it looks like the non-aggression pact does affect it. I think if I unpause it, it might change, but the migratory pact also impacted it. So we're consuming half of our monthly gain, or not half, but 0.5 of our monthly gain. So that's why we're not, it's not exactly 2. You can see the total monthly gain is 2.7. But let's go ahead and crack these open and see what they are offering. So this is, you'll see this thing a lot, commercial pact. So what it does is that, I guess this is kind of the lore behind it. This will increase the value of both Empire trade networks. This deal will grant us 8.65 energy credits, and they will get 1.2 1.92 energy credits, as well as 0.96 consumer goods each month. So these are good if you're kind of lacking in the thing that they're offering, but it also comes at a cost of influence too. To enter these, you need to use influence. So with that being said, it's probably, we have a healthy surplus, right? We have 52. So it's probably not in our best interest to get into this. So I'm going to, instead of decline or agree, I'm just going to let it time out. Because if you let it time out, you're basically staying neutral. You're not saying either one, or at least I think that's how the game takes it. But if you decline it, I believe there could be negative effects from it. Like, hey, you don't want to get into a commercial pact with me? What the heck? So I usually just let them time out if I don't want to get into it. So I'll just close this out. Let's go ahead and look at the research agreement. So same thing as the commercial pact. We can learn, 1 physics, 3 society, and 2 engineering, and then we're going to share with them 1 physics, 0 society, and 2 engineering. Is it a good trade for how much influence we lose? Probably not. I don't think this is worth it. If we were learning more, maybe. And sometimes if you are far more advanced in technology, you'll be sharing a lot more than you learn. So unless they're like a vassal under you or an ally, you usually don't want to give an upper hand with technologies to random societies, because then they can use that against you. So in this case, we're just going to let this one time out as well, because we don't want to get into this. So let's go ahead and unpause it. And looks like a defensive pact does not affect the influence game. Well, we'll see on the when it updates on the next month, actually. So let's go ahead and assign an envoy. I think, do we have 2 envoys that we need assigned to? Yeah, we do. So here's another one. Just choose a random one, doesn't matter. So we'll see when it gets to March. Okay, there we go. And this is just letting you know it was timed out in auto decline. Again, I just think the auto decline might be the better. So as you can see, the defensive pact it went from 0.5 to 1. So that not only do we have a non-aggression, we have a defensive pact. Our monthly gain is now 1.95. So it's up to you if you think this is worth it. But with an empire right next to us, overwhelming, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it for now. And who knows, maybe they'll become a very good ally in the future. You never know. But for now, we'll focus our efforts elsewhere, specifically expanding out, because I believe in expanding out wide, and that might have changed. And something to note is that ever since we last played, the game updated. And so you might see technology, or see it right here. So we just got a negative trait on one of our leaders. Pop growth speed is -5. So that's not good. We might want to consider getting someone different, but looking at this person's age and knowing the typical age range of our species, they might pass away soon, so it might be worth just kind of writing it out. But a -5 pop speed is definitely a pretty big hindrance, so it might be best to put them somewhere else, but we'll look at that later. But for now, going back to technology, we can open this up. So we did this. You'll notice that all of the costs, let's go ahead and pause it again, sorry. All the costs have increased. So in the latest patch, they actually nerfed technology. And they nerfed technology in the way of making it more costly. It's going to cost more research to do. So technology rushing isn't... I guess it's not as good because it takes more to research these things. I think overall, like across the board, it increased like 15 or 20%. I forgot the exact value, but they increased it pretty substantial. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of evident to how strong technology rushing was before that they had to nerf technology in the first place. But we'll still keep in mind that knowing that technology is, it's just not as strong, but it's still something to go after. We just might not put as many resources, building a lot of research labs to increase our research speed and all that. There's probably a new meta that might have been discovered by now, but I'm not sure what it is. So, but in this case, we're just learning how to play the game. So we just want to know what we're clicking, why we're clicking, all that stuff. But I just want to give you a heads up that I know I said in the beginning, technology was really strong, but now it's nerfed. So just a heads up. Looking at these, so we got fusion reactor, capacity, energy grid, research output, and basic combat roles. So we just already did a research station output. Might as well keep going, right?
System survey concluded.
So let's see. We have this thing not doing anything. So let's go ahead and build, and then let's go ahead and take this next system, because this system contains an archaeology site, which is going to be really good for us. We want that for sure. So the next question is, which area do we take? So if looking at this, you can almost say if we rushed this and secured this spot, we basically secure all of this. So I'm thinking that's the move. So I'm going to go ahead and move them here. But I'm curious who this is and what they're doing. What is that? That's a huge fleet. So it's a neutral fleet, you can tell by the yellow, but interestingly enough, why is it going through our territory? Because we don't see anything over here. Unless we haven't explored here, we don't know what's going on here. Well, that's kind of a weird way to say it, right? Unless we haven't explored here. We haven't explored here. We know the system layout here, but we haven't explored here. So we need to explore here to figure out maybe that's what was going on. Because it's entirely possible that there's what's called like it's a mercenary faction where you can hire ships to go out and attack opponents and all that. They could be hiding right here, and maybe that's what was, going through these systems. But it looks like they're kind of just going around. I don't know what they're doing. I've never seen that. So I think it's one of our, actually one of these. Oh, the Munchers. So yeah, we're trying to figure out who they are. Oh, that might be the traveling traders. You know what? It kind of looked like a traveling trader based off the picture that we just saw. Could be wrong. But usually, like this background or icon kind of cues me in it's a traveling trader. So maybe it's that. Hopefully it is, because that's what would also explain why it's neutral. It also looks like they just popped up here. They instantly appeared because you could see that the investigation, or like the first contact, was in our home system. Which, if we go to our home system, how did they get here? There's no way for them to get here. So it's almost as if they were spawned in. So that's kind of a head scratcher. So if there was maybe a wormhole or something here, that could explain it, but I think it's a wandering trader that was spawned in by the game. That's my best bet. Yep, the Caravaneers. There we go. So that's who they were. They got like these decadent ships, and they basically just fly around and offer you cool
System
things.
survey concluded.
If you want to buy it or not. Sometimes their deals are really good. Sometimes their deals are really bad. So it just depends. So.
Construction completed.
It looks like we got another contact. and it spawned right here again with the frogs. In a lot of different first contacts. So just another decision. It's just mainly just roleplay. So we can only choose this because we are a xenophile. So let's go ahead and choose that.
An alien nation
Why
is
not?
hailing us.
And you get a little bit of influence from it, so that's a bonus. So yeah, it wasn't a mercenary guild. As you can see, we're kind of exploring this little triangle here. But you'll want to identify places where if you take a certain spot, you know, specifically this one, you're basically blocking off anyone else from taking this area. So but someone could jump here. Okay, so if this system wasn't blocked, like you guys games enter system through policy, and you actually block people your systems. You can actually close your things.
Situational has been updated.
Go ahead and pause this for a sec. So we got another Ascension. We chose the technology ascendancy. Research speed, flat research speed is great, plus rare technologies. So looking at the next few, which one do we think is a good one? Well, interestingly enough, this was going to be the next one, but it also got nerfed pretty quickly after the most recent change. It used to be really good, but now it's just good. You know, it used to be great. So this was going to be our next one, but then with the nerf, no. I don't think edicts funds are worth getting, so I typically just leave those alone. Shared Destiny, I don't see any point of getting additional envoys. Imperial Prerogative, Empire size from planets -50 plus 2 official capacity size. It's decent. I think this one's good. It allows you to expand more and prevents you from, you know, getting the negative effects from Empire size. As you can see, the majority of our stuff is coming from population. So planets wouldn't really help us here. I like Mastery of Nature, and the reason for that is you can get +2 more districts on every planet. And then your max resource districts from each planet features +50. I just find this one really strong just because, like, especially late game, if you add 2 more districts to each planet, I don't know. That to me is just like you're getting more resources. It makes it's really strong. I find this one underrated, but I don't know. I could be wrong. One Vision. This is just a solid choice overall. If, like, you don't know what you want to pick, just pick this one because it just gives bonuses to everything. Like, it's something that you're going to use because you're going to need unity. You're going to need population amenities usage, and, you know, you're governing ethics attractions. It's +50. So this is just a really solid choice overall. There's nothing wrong with this one. People might argue that there's one that's better, but if you don't know what to choose and you're just trying to stick to, like, learning the game, just choose this one. One Vision's probably the one that we're going to choose right now, to be honest. Grasp the Void, FTL travel appears 1.5 times the normal rate, plus you get 5 more star-based capacity. It's good if you know, if you're trying to expand with a lot of star bases, but that's not really our goal right now. So I'm gonna say no to that one. Interstellar Dominion, star-based influence cost -20, claim influence cost -20%. I should have said 20%, not just 20. It's decent, but it's not the highest priority. This isn't like you're just influencing, or you're just getting modifiers to influence costs. That's it. So not really worth it in my opinion. I wouldn't choose this one. Enigmatic Engineering. You can steal technology, and debris from our destroyed ships cannot be studied by other empires. I would say this is important during a multiplayer game, but you're not really worried about multiplayer games right now. But if you are playing multiplayer games, you might want to think about selecting this one just to kind of get an edge on other people. So, but for now, I would say don't worry about this one too much. And then Lord of War, Mercenary Enclaves capacity +1, Diplomatic weight fleet power 25%, and Mercenary Enclaves under our patronage pay more frequent dividends. We're not getting into patronages and Mercenary Enclaves, so, you know, ignore this one, because you're not getting into war. You might choose this one later if you are, you know, you have vassals under you and all that, but don't worry about this one. So with that being said, I really see, you know, Transcendent Learning is a decent one. Like I said, it's just not great. But a solid choice, one vision, I'm going to choose that one. So I kind of lost my train of thought here. Going back to here, the way this works is that if we take this one spot, we would need to take this one and this one. And the reason for that is computers will jump over you if it's just one system taken over. So you want to make sure that you get this one and this one. Ideally, we can get this one, and then we wouldn't have to worry about getting 2 more star bases. So we want to rush this one and this one, because these are both still choke points. These are really good choke points, especially this one, just because if you hover over it, shield nullification 100%. So if we build a star base here, anything entering is going to have 100% shield nullification. So let's go ahead and unpause. But the problem here now is there is a NPC blocking us with these ancient mining drone orbs. So what can we do about that? There's ironically not much we can do. Unless we were to beef up our military, which we could beef up our military to get it to 711, and it's entirely an option. But it's going to take a lot, because if you look at here, 3 of these are equaling 163. So, and we haven't really researched any military applications at all. So, one hope is that this thing flies back over here or goes back to wherever it came from.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
And, you know, opens up this spot so that way we can take it. But we should probably assume that that's not...
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
Quickly assigning someone and then getting back to here. So 3 are military, and then 1 is industrial, you can argue. So this is also going to unlock. You can hover over this like little lock and key sign where it says, you know, what it is. This is an infrastructure path. This will lead to further advancements in civilian infrastructure. This is a robotic path. This will lead to further advancements in the field of robotics. Because this is it's military, but it's also going to help us with further advancements into civilian infrastructure. So let's actually do this one. Because as much fun as robots are, I find that I don't use them too much, but that's just how I play. And while they're sitting there, let's just go ahead and get this one right here. And so we're actually gonna, because we have a good amount of alloys, and that's what it takes to build ships, we're actually gonna go ahead and start doing a bit of military stuff. So before we do that, let's go ahead and upgrade to planetary administration because we'll meet the requirements. But let's go ahead and start with some military stuff. Looks like our science ships aren't doing anything, so let's go ahead and get them back to doing stuff.
Completed.
Make sure you're always checking your science ships to make sure that they're doing things. Otherwise, they are not doing anything and they're unproductive, and that's not what we... So we're just building stuff here. We want to claim these energy credits and physics
System
research.
survey concluded.
I'm going to keep expanding out. looks like there's an alien. It's entirely possible there's like an alien population over here, so we will want to rush this because we're probably going to get stopped somewhere soon here. So let's go ahead and look at... Oh, here's the shipyard. So this is how you build ships. You can go here to the shipyard, and you can just build corvettes. And I think that's what we're going to do. We can just build corvettes. It's going to do autobus, and we can't really change the ship design. You can change the ship design once you get more research under it, but there's really no point. So we want to get a fleet that's going to beat this one. 711. So I would say, this is probably a safe bet. So we're just going to do a nice 15. It's going to take 1,200 alloys, which we have plenty. So I add this number. Our command limit is 20. So we're going to reinforce all. And this is slowly going to start pumping out these corvettes. Great.
An alien nation is hailing us.
So this is the Curator order. They're good for helping you with research. If you pay them, they will give you, boons to research, like research speed increases and all that. So another neutral faction, not necessarily trying to take over the take over the galaxy. Like, this is considered like another empire. This is like a neutral faction that's just trying to exist.
Red alert! Spaceport under fire.
So, looks like there is an asteroid over here. So we'll send our fleet over here to take care of it. Our star... I don't even know if I would call this a star.
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
But this thing is automatically firing on this thing. And it'll slowly take it out, but we want to make it a little bit faster. And we're going to send our fleet over there.
Situation log has been updated.
So what we did there is we... I'm going to pause that real quick. We selected the option that would allow us to partake in this mission. And so we're going to research this project because we're clicking a construction ship, right? But if you hover over it, it says you're going to need a construction ship instead of a science ship. So make sure you read and review what each option is before clicking the options and the things that pop up. I just click it because I know like what's going to happen, but just make sure you're reading it before you do anything, because it gives you a lot of information to help you decide what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So this one, it's technology progress is 10% on frequency tuning, and we also get influenced. Pretty cool.
An alien nation is hailing us.
And this is a timed event too, so that's something to consider. You'll see this like timed project thing, and we have 3,600 days to complete this, which pretty doable. It's not like you're gonna run out of any time soon. So, but since this thing isn't doing anything, let's go ahead and send it over, because might as well. What is blown by the wind will wash us by the rain. Nope. I think I accidentally clicked them. I thought that was a pop-up. But it looks like I accidentally clicked it. So you can see the health is going down slowly. It's 87, now 86. But we also don't want to risk this asteroid not being destroyed and then hitting our planet. That'd be bad. So you can see it's slowly moving here. It's just very slow. And I think eventually this might get out of range of our station over here. So it's a good thing we're sending over our fleet. So you can see, I assume this was probably once a... Well, we can see. Yeah, this was once a red planet, now it's yellow. And it's yellow because we have that migratory pact with that neighboring faction. This is good for us because now we can... You could colonize a planet at yellow, it's just probably not the best. You can hover over and see the negative effects.
Completed.
You know, this is going to take, 55 plus. Amenities usage, pop usage is 55 plus. Resources are 27.5% lower, and population growth is 27% lower. Probably not the best decision to take that planet, but maybe if it was 65 or 70, that would be more doable. But at 45, probably not. So it looks like our fleet made it. So now they are engaging. And so now they're going to take care of this thing pretty quickly. Or relatively quickly compared to this thing. But the short and sweet is that we want our fleet
System survey
to take this out
concluded.
before it becomes an issue. So, but it looks like they're handling it just fine. And then hopefully soon we'll get enough
System
ships to
survey
handle
concluded.
this hostile mining corp. I guess you can see they're getting a little bit of target practice in. And there we go. Asteroid taken care of. And we gained some minerals from it. But it looks like their awareness of us kind of went up. So let's go ahead and go
Council
here.
agenda available.
Go ahead and select a new agenda. Happiness is always a good one, so let's go ahead and do that. So what's cool is that even though we are running around, the shipyard is still building these ships, and they're going to meet up with this main fleet. The ships will just randomly, not randomly, but chart
The special
through
project has concluded.
these different systems to reach the main fleet in hopes of meeting up with them. So the next one to probably get, we already took expansion and discovery. We can't get these because you have to unlock, the flesh is weak Ascension perk as well as the technology. Same with these others. They're tied behind technology and all that. So at this point, we're not really getting into politics yet. Not really mercantile. I would say prosperity is probably the best one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose
System
prosperity
survey concluded.
because we want to be prosperous. Let's go ahead and send this thing back over here so we can go ahead and make sure we are ready to go when our ships arrive. If we see this, we can put in.
System survey concluded. We have encountered based on iPhones.
And I'll go ahead
System survey
and
concluded. Engaging forces.
so you can see they automatically engage. We kind of zoomed into that, but basically they entered the system, they went to the area that I directed them to, and they automatically engage any hostile threats. And so right now our fleet is fighting these droids, or these mining droids, so that way we could free up the space. And there's probably also going to be, well, potentially, but I say possibly, but potentially a research that might be here. We can analyze the debris of the field to kind of see, like, and understand these things better. We might get a technology from it. So we'll see. I'm not sure what the chances are, but usually it happens. Yeah, so here there's a special project. We can analyze the space debris with trace components, a small cutting laser, a fusion reactor, and ion thrusters. And so that popped up. Let's take this thing, because now it's opened up. And it looks like we only lost one out of 15. So that's a pretty sweet deal. So I have a ship here. Let's see if we have
System survey
closer. We do.
concluded.
So let's go ahead and have this ship go here and research the project. This one over here, we're just going to continue to automatically survey. This one is not doing anything, so let's go ahead and have him go here. But that's pretty much how fighting works. They are not healed, so what we want to do is have them repair the fleet. So what they're going to do, if you can see, they're leaving the system, so they're going to go back to their home base and basically do repairs. You can get research that automatically does repairs without them needing to go back, and those are pretty cool too. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna cut it here.
Construction completed.
Looks like this thing moves, so we're gonna have to also heal these guys up and take care of that. But I'm gonna cut it here, and we'll return to this next time. I appreciate you guys listening in and watching, and hope you have a good one.